Welcome back. One of downtown Tulsa's largest churches will soon have a new leader. For the first time, a woman will take the reins of First United Methodist Church.
And tonight, we meet Reverend Jessica Moffitt, who tells us she's coming home.
The very first time I came into this church, I sat on the back row with my mother.
Jessica Moffitt was only 10 when she walked into First United Methodist Church for a revival.
So here I am, many decades later, helping to lead, hopefully, the same kind of spirited revival into the future.
She is returning to Tulsa as senior pastor, returning home.
Went to Patrick Henry Elementary School and Edison High School, and I graduated from University of Tulsa, so I am a Tulsa girl.
This church is home too. It's where she interned during seminary, and before leading churches in Bixby and now Ardmore, she served 12 years here as associate pastor.
So that means that I have been in that pulpit many, many times.
Reverend Moffitt calls herself a third-generation clergywoman in a faith that began ordaining women 50 years ago.
The women who were the pioneers had a pretty rough time as they began to have the culture shifts. And then my older sister is also a United Methodist pastor. I consider her second generation. It was a little more difficult for her.
By the time she reached the pulpit, no resistance.
This is where a lot of our church meetings will happen.
Familiar hallways and familiar leaders in current senior pastor Dr. Wade Pascal.
Good sermons aren't written, they're rewritten.
After decades in charge, he's looking forward to retirement, writing his final sermons before passing on the leadership to a woman for the first time in the church's 130-year history, a woman he's known since the 1980s.
Someone who you deeply admire, both as a person, as a Christian, as a preacher, and as a leader. She's a terrific person, and I'm excited about what God's going to do through her and what God's going to do with her in this church.
If you will seek me, you will find me. If you seek me with your whole heart.
With her faith strong, Reverend Moffitt is considering the future of her church.
So I think the mark of a good leader is that the first thing you do is just listen to the hearts of the people and see how God is already leading them.
And leading her home to Tulsa.
I'm just so happy to be coming back to a church that believes in the power of prayer.